Hi, my beautiful souls. Welcome back. I'm Danny, and on this channel, we talk about all things that make you the greatest version of yourself. So, today we're going to tie back into healing, right? We're going to talk about how healing ties into spirituality, okay? Because a lot of us, we go into a healing journey and we start questioning, well, if I'm healing, why are things being taken from me? If I'm healing, why does my life feel like it's falling apart? And that is honestly the whole point. You need to let go of things, and life is going to tear you down so you can rebirth and you can become this new version of yourself, right? A lot of us go into healing thinking that healing is revenge, healing is proving a point to other people. And no, healing is just you literally going through a rebirth, you building yourself back up and letting go of everything that you thought you knew. And this ties a lot into spirituality because that is what a spiritual awakening is. A spiritual journey is about going into a path of truth and of yourself. It's not about religion, but it's about alignment. It's about truth. It's about remembering the soul beneath the mask, remembering who you were before the programming, before the trauma, before certain life events, before your mom, your dad, your teacher told you how to be, how to act. Like, it's going deep within and releasing that mask. And so yes, healing is spiritual because it's not just about going to your past, but it's about unmasking that soul that has always been deeply within you. And this begins the moment that life shakes you up. This begins the moment you start going through betrayal, you start going through loss, you start going through pain, trauma, heartbreak, and you start realizing you can't keep living your life on autopilot. You can't keep living your life and expecting yourself to stay the same and expecting things to just get handed to you when you're not even making the changes in your life yourself. And I always say, what you are not changing, you are choosing. You cannot expect to be at a different place and be the same way. You cannot expect to manifest something bigger for yourself but still be doing low vibrational activities, right? If you're constantly distracting yourself and staying around people who don't know your worth and shrinking yourself to be around other people, you're never gonna glow confidently. And so this is when you have to go within and you have to be that one to decide that you want to break cycles, right? And breaking cycles means creating new habits for yourself, right? You can't expect to be somebody different. You can't expect to glow up and have confidence and have skill and have more knowledge and wisdom if you're not breaking cycles, if you're not taking that step to do something different, right? If you grew up in a family that loves gossip and is always judging other people and always comparing themselves, right? That's what you are, right? Because that's how you grew up. How do you expect yourself to attract people that are going to love you authentically if that is the energy that you project? If you are always judging, if you are always gossiping, if you are always consuming that kind of energy and putting yourself in environments where these people are doing those negative things, that is the vibration and that is the energy that you are carrying. So you can't expect to receive love and recognition for beautiful things. You can't expect to feel confident and feel wholesome if that's the life that you're living. And so spirituality and healing go hand in hand, because when you start healing, you actually start questioning everything, right? You start questioning your childhood. You start questioning your trauma. You start questioning your family, religion. You start questioning just life. And this is your awakening moment, right? Because you're questioning all these things because something isn't right with you, right? There's something more that you know you need to be doing. There's something more that you know you need to be feeling. And that is spiritual because energy is real. Your mind, your body, your soul is searching for these things because these things belong to you. What you desire already desires you, right? If you want to become the first millionaire in your family, it's likely because you were made to do that. You were born to be rich. You were born to be successful, and you know that. And so because you know that, you start taking the risk and you start creating your own business. You start putting yourself out there. You start being more expressive, right? Without worrying about what anybody else thinks about you. Healing is tied to like a spiritual warfare, because you notice that when you start healing and you start evolving and you start wanting to do better for yourself, you have all these people around you who start being kind of negative and kind of looking at you like, oh, you think you're all that, or you think you're too cool, you forgot where you came from. They start making these negative comments. Yeah, those are literally negative entities. Those are literally negative spirits that don't want you to do good, for the simple fact that you doing good is going to challenge their perspective, right? You doing better is going to force these people around you to reflect on themselves and really reflect on what they're doing with their lives, right? And a lot of the time it's so sad because it always ends up being the people closest to you, your friends and family, right? Like I remember when I wanted to start, my healing journey and my spiritual journey, my family judged me so hard. Like they would talk behind my back, make fun of me. Like I personally liked collecting crystals when I started my spiritual journey. I just liked it, and they would go behind my back and say that I would talk to the crystals and kind of like make a joke out of me. And honestly, like I don't respect that. You know what I'm saying? And the moment that I tried to speak up, they would call me problematic, dramatic. They would just be so negative, and they would try to make me feel bad for speaking up for myself. And sometimes that's what they want to do. They want you to feel bad for speaking up because you speaking up is your superpower. And so when you start healing, it may start feeling like you're getting a lot of hate. And it's not that they hate you, but it's that they hate that they don't have that control over you, because now you're self-aware, right? Now you know your worth. Now you don't let anybody walk all over you. And so they feel threatened by that. They feel threatened because these people that are trying to shrink you, these people that don't want you to grow and elevate, these are the same people that have lived their entire life feeling small. And so it makes them uncomfortable seeing somebody who is confident, who can walk into a room and not shrink themselves for anybody because they don't care about what anybody thinks. It's hard for them. It's hard for these people to see you setting boundaries because these people don't know what boundaries are. These people got so comfortable with, crossing those boundaries. These people got so comfortable with, literally feeding off of being negative towards you and gossiping and saying things and getting a negative reaction. And that's why we talk so much about not giving people a negative reaction, because energy is real, and these negative entities, these people will literally feed off of that. They don't want to see us heal. They don't want to see us grow, because because when we're not growing, we are their supply. When we're not growing, right, and when we're not healing and evolving, we're people pleasing, right? And we're giving these people what they want. We're giving these people that energy. We're giving these people the time to sit around and gossip and complain and all that. And it's like these people don't know how to heal. And so them seeing you do that, obviously they're going to tell you, oh, you're changing, you're acting so different, you're acting so bougie, because they don't understand you. And that's the thing. When you are healing or when you are growing spiritually, people will not understand you for the simple fact that people only understand you to their level of awareness, right? If these people aren't putting work in themselves to hold themselves accountable, to grow, to set boundaries, they're not going to understand what you're doing. So yeah, healing is spiritual, because healing does get deep, and healing does, start making you more aware of your surroundings and people and their energy. Healing is a spiritual process. Healing isn't just self-help, but it's soul work. Every time you cry, every time you realize, every time you journal, every time you forgive or you rest, you're literally clearing energy. You're working with energy. There's nothing wrong with spirituality. There's nothing wrong with healing. It is literally everything. And it's literally working and knowing that what you are is what you attract. And so if you're wanting to do better, it's for a reason. It's because you want to attract better. And so through healing, you are literally shifting. You are literally peeling back layers of pain and trauma and cycles and negativity. And through this is when we start to learn that triggers are our teachers, right? That life is a reflection of who you were spiritually, mentally, and emotionally at that time, and what you needed to do to overcome those obstacles in your life. When people say everything happens for a reason, it's because our healing is designed to wake us up. Pain is a portal. Healing is a portal. Our bodies are literally a portal, right? So if we're allowing disrespect and we're allowing people to walk all over us, and we're people pleasing and we're stressing because we're so worried about other people besides us, that's what it says about you as a person, and that's what it says about you internally in your soul. And that's why I feel like in this specific generation, so many people are healing and so many people are tying back to spirituality, because you start to see how much they go hand to hand. And when you heal, you become more self-aware. And when you heal, you actually start to see life for what it really is, and not for what everybody wants you to think that it is. I think that this generation of people, like, we are recognizing patterns. Like, we are the cycle breakers. Like, I genuinely see and feel that Gen Z, Gen Alpha, the next generations that are coming, like we are the new gen. Like we are bringing the truth, and we are bringing light to what our ancestors and our adults in our life couldn't do. And they couldn't do that because they didn't have the resources. They didn't do that because they didn't have the knowledge. But us, we have that knowledge. Realize that it's okay to feel disconnected from old friends, and realizing that it's okay for people to separate. It's okay for people to outgrow each other. This is why our generation craves peace and silence over chaos, because we're more sensitive to energy. We're actually questioning a lot. When you start questioning, when you start realizing, when you start being okay with separation and change, you're attracting truth and comfort. And that's how you know that you're on a healing, like a spiritual healing journey. And you might be asking, well, how do I enter a spiritual healing journey? And I'm going to help you guys with that too. So instead of trying to fight your pain, start questioning, what is this part of my life trying to teach my soul? Why do I keep attracting people who love drama? Why do I keep attracting people who are constantly disrespecting me and walking all over me, right? What does that say about me? How can I honor my boundaries? How can I, be more firm about what it is that I expect from myself? How can I stop myself from attracting people that literally drain me and just want to, keep using me to do whatever it is that they want, but they're not asking me how I'm doing, right? So start creating rituals for yourself, something that you do every single day that kind of sets the tone for who you are and who you're becoming and where you want to be, right? So a ritual can be journaling every day. A ritual can be playing meditation music. It can be meditating itself. But whatever it is, make sure that it makes you feel good, and make sure that it puts you in a place where you start to feel so deeply rooted with yourself. Because when you're so deeply rooted with yourself, it becomes easier for you to detach from people that may not want the best for you, or that may not be understanding to your healing. And that's another thing. Stop trying to get all these people to understand you, because people are not going to understand you by what you say. Honestly, your energy speaks louder than anything. Like, I genuinely believe that when you're healed and you're really, really healed, you're not even going to want to explain yourself to anybody. You're not even going to have to, because your energy alone is going to speak for itself. Literally, you're going to be smiling and radiating such this amazing glow that no one's even going to question, well, why did she walk away? Why did she stop talking to me? Why did she decide to put her first? Like, it's evident. Like, the way you're living your life and the way you glow and you shine, and the way you walk into rooms and you're just confident and you're just like in your own little, like, you just feel good. Like, people are gonna see that, and people are gonna respect you for that. They're gonna be like, wow, like, she made these choices that a lot of people didn't understand, that a lot of people didn't understand, but she looks so much happier. She's literally doing things that you probably didn't even realize that you can do. Because you stopped caring about explaining yourself, you stopped focusing on other things, and you started putting that energy of worrying into yourself, into your healing. So that's another thing you gotta do. You gotta call back your power. All right, I like to tell myself, I'm calling back my power from every lifetime, every portal, every dimension, every version of me. I'm calling back my power, right? I'm calling back my energy from that version of me that didn't have a voice, that didn't know how to speak up for herself. I'm calling back that version of me that didn't have faith and didn't believe. I'm calling back that version of me that didn't have the knowledge I have today. Call back your power. Call back your power. You're gonna feel amazing. You're gonna feel radiant, and you're gonna become more powerful. And so the last thing you wanna be doing to really implement a healing journey and just embracing it is through daily affirmations. And I know that it's so cliche to say that nowadays, because affirmations have literally taken over this whole world. Our generation now is so big on affirmations, so it may sound cliche and it may sound like everyone's saying the same thing, but affirmations is a really good way to reprogram your subconscious mind, right? Because a lot of us grow up with the belief, feeling that we can't do certain things because of the environment that we grew up in. And so we implement those affirmations of, I am confident, I am capable of attracting this and that, I am capable of developing new skills, right? Because our words are literally spells, right? That is why it's called spelling, because you are literally speaking and you're putting energy out there. If you're telling yourself, oh my God, I could never get a job. Like, nobody wants to hire me. Like, da da da. You're not going to get that job. But if you're confident and you're able to tell yourself, I can get any job I want. If I want this, I'm able to attract that. You're going to have that confidence. You're reprogramming your brain, and you're actually sending signals to the universe, and you're going to receive that. Because like I said in the beginning, life is a reflection, and everything that you have is a reflection of what you put out. Really align yourself. Through affirmations, you are aligning yourself to this greater version of you. And lastly, don't be afraid to call in spirit in whatever ways works for you, right? If you believe in God, call up to God, talk to God. If you believe in the universe, talk to the universe, the divine. Whatever you believe in, call that in, right? Because at the end of the day, whatever you believe in, it's all about having faith and knowing that there's a higher power, and there's literally something out there that's answering our prayers. Literally, what you ask for, you can receive, especially if you believe in it. So really, don't be afraid to call in spirit and ask. Tell them, like, show me what this pain is trying to awaken in me, or show me why I'm in this area of my life, right? Invite yourself to start working with the universe, right? And it can be through anything, right? Like, I've literally seen people, and I've done it myself, where I will literally tell universe, like, if this specific thing is not for me, show me a lion or show me a butterfly. And maybe you're walking, maybe you're driving, maybe you're just, scrolling through social media, and maybe you see that lion and that butterfly, and you'll know when it's that confirmation, because you'll feel it, right? You'll literally feel it. And it's good to get descriptive, go into detail, but not even just that, but sometimes, like, you can literally get a response from the universe through people, right? Maybe you start interacting with somebody, and somebody comes to you with so much knowledge and something that you needed to hear. That can be the universe, that can be God speaking to you, right? So be open-minded, and be like, know that it's okay for you to call in spirit. It's okay for you to look out, and of course build yourself up, but know that there's clarity all around you. And remember that healing isn't a detour, but it's a path. And so there are going to be so many layers, and there's going to be so many moments where you feel like you have it all figured out, and there's going to be a day you wake up and you may feel like you have nothing figured out, right? But that's okay. That is the beauty of healing, and that is the beauty of life, honestly. And that is the beauty of, like, spirituality and tapping into yourself, is like understanding that, right? And the more you tap into yourself, the more you understand that, and life doesn't have to be as hard as we make it. It's not just about healing wounds, but it's about finding your divinity again. You were never made to stay small in your pain. You were made to grow from it, and you are here to rise through it, okay? So I hope that this is gonna help anybody out there who wants to embrace their healing, or who has gone through so much trauma and pain, and maybe you don't know where to start, or maybe you just needed to hear this message. But if you made it to the end, I want you to know that I love you so much, my reflection. I want you to know that I see you. I want you to know that there is something greater in all of us. There is something greater in you, whoever's watching this video right now. So own that confidence, okay? I promise you, own that confidence. Be you, because this version of you that you're creating, this version of you that you are becoming, you earned it. And remember, you're not broken, but you're being rebuilt. So thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you resonated with it, if you have any questions, comment below. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, subscribe. Follow my TikTok for more inspiring videos like this, because that is where we will stay connected. And I look forward to seeing all of you guys again. I look forward to connecting with every single person. So bye.